welcome back to the Crack Mag. It's good to have you here. Today we are making Chicken Cacciatore, a favorite of mine. Hailing from Italy around the Renaissance period of 14th, 16th century, cacciatore is an Italian word that means hunter. It's a dish thought to have been eaten by hunters outdoors with whatever food they could forage, including herbs, fruits, vegetables. It certainly was not made with chicken, more likely rabbit or wild birds. And in the early days, it was not made with tomatoes either. They were native to the Americas and did not arrive in Europe until after the Spanish conquistadors introduced them in the early 16th century. There is no clarity on when chicken was introduced to this dish. But it is worth noting, in Italy, chicken is never added to a pasta dish, which is the first course. Chicken would be a second course, and then it would be like roasted, sauteed, or grilled. Adding chicken to pasta dishes was a very economical way to make a wholesome dinner when money was scarce and many, many mouths to feed. Chicken cacciatore is a simple, adaptable, and very flavorful dish, and today we lean in with the mushrooms. That's it, I think. Please give this video a thumbs up. I'll wait. Go ahead. Thank you. All right, let's get in that kitchen and make chicken cacciatore. Come on. Let's start with hydrating our mushrooms. So, into 2 cups of boiling water, let's add 28 grams, which is 1 ounce of dried mushrooms. I'm using a selection of dried mushrooms here. Here I have 6 chicken thighs, boneless and skinless. It's good to use skinless. You can use up to 8 of the chicken thighs. Season those with half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Into your pot, add 1 tablespoon olive oil. Medium-high heat, and we are going to give our chicken thighs a suntan. I think I'll be able to get them all in here without overcrowding, because they are boneless. If I was using 8 thighs, I would do them in 2 batches. 5 minutes, just to get a little brown, turn them over, and 5 more minutes. Then we're going to set them aside. Lovely, that has been 5 minutes each side. Let's take them out, and any excess oil in our pan or any excess fat in our pan, we are going to drain off. We don't need that chicken fat right now. All right, the mushrooms have been soaking now for about 20 minutes, and you see there's a lovely brown liquid around them. Now we're going to strain these, but I want to retain that liquid for now. We'll need some later. Sometimes there's a lot of grit in dehydrated mushrooms and dried mushrooms. So while I'm going to sieve it, I'm also going to put a paper towel. You can also use cheesecloth. It'll catch any grit that's in there. And these mushrooms are going to get another bath in some cold water. Take out the mushrooms, give them a squeeze. And we're just going to pop them back in this bowl again. There we go. Going to put them into the sieve, and I'm going to give them about a 5-minute rinse under cold running water. I have rinsed these until the water is practically clear. That took about 4 minutes, and I'm squeezing out all the excess water out of these. This little effort with the dried mushrooms is so worth it for flavor. Dried mushrooms are amazing, and they're also a key ingredient for my mushroom risotto. It's absolutely incredible. I'm going to finely chop these. Also, when I first drained them, my lovely brown liquid, I am going to keep 1 cup of that. The rest you can discard. Meanwhile, back on the range, let's add our second and final tablespoon of olive oil to our pot over medium-high heat. Let's add 1 small onion, finely minced. 1 medium carrot, finely minced. Here I have 2 stalks of celery, and that's also been minced. Oh look, green, white, and gold going on in there. Hello, Ireland. All right, stir this up just to get it coated. You need to move up to the Ashley. Medium heat. Stir this for about 5 minutes until the onion becomes a little translucent. All right, to this vegetable party, let's add 2 cloves of garlic minced, 2 tablespoons Italian parsley minced. Here I have 1.5 teaspoons of fresh rosemary, which I finely minced. If you don't have fresh, just use 1/2 teaspoon of dried rosemary. Little spice, 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Stir that up. I'm going to turn my heat down to low, and I'm going to put a cover on this and let it saute for about 5 minutes. Low heat. 5 minutes is up. This smells amazing. To that, it's time to bring our mushrooms into this party. So here are my dried mushrooms, which we hydrated. Here I have 226 grams, that's 8 ounces, regular mushrooms. Sliced, not too thin. I want to see these in the pot. These are cremini. You can use a white mushroom, whatever you like. Again, over medium heat, we're going to stir these for about 5 minutes. That has been 6 minutes. I can see the mushrooms are giving off their juices. All right, let's make this party adult. Here I have 1/2 glass of red wine. That is about 125 milliliters. Time to clean the bottom, the fond, off our pot and off the sides. We're going to let it simmer for 5 minutes until the wine evaporates. You thought you were the only one who could make wine disappear? No. All right, 5 minutes. Okay, I am happy with that. The juices of the mushrooms are there too. So to that, I am going to add 1 28-ounce can. That is 794 grams of chopped tomatoes. Now, I got finely chopped. These are petite minced. If yours are coarser than that, go ahead and chop them up a little bit further. You could use a food processor if you wanted to, but I like to put them in a plastic bowl and get my clean hands in there and give them a good squish, but really quite small. That goes in. We're going to bring this to a simmer, and then we're going to check for seasoning. That only took 2 minutes to bring it up to temperature. I'm going to check it for seasoning here. No, I feel the heat from the chili, tiny bit sweet, no salt needed. We're good to go. Now that it's simmering, I'm going to turn it down with the lid off. Let's simmer that gently for about 5 to 10 minutes. Let all the ingredients get to know each other. That has been a full 10 minutes. And now it's finally time to add our magic mushroom water from earlier, our soaking liquid. Time for a reunion of the chicken and any juices that may have accumulated. So we're just going to get those cozy in there, submerge them. As you can see, there's enough sauce here for 8 to 10 chicken thighs. I won't use all the sauce probably, and I'll probably end up freezing a little container of it for something else later on down the road. This dish, when done, freezes really well, but so does the sauce separately if you need to keep some. Cover it over very low heat, let it simmer for about 30 minutes. After the time is up, remember to taste it for seasoning. This needed nothing at all. And you're back. My God, let me just tell you, the aroma in this kitchen is absolutely amazing. And, you know, I tasted the sauce when I was cooking it, so right now I can't wait to just dig into it. So I'm going to do that with a piece of chicken. Oh my God, it is, look at that. It is so, and a little bit of sauce on that. I'm having this with rice over pasta because the rice will soak up that lovely sauce and juices better for me than the pasta, so it's excellent with rice. All right, let's give it a go. Look, it makes tons of sauce. It's really like a vegetable ragu, this sauce, and the flavor is incredible, made more intense with the mushrooms, the dried mushrooms and the fresh mushrooms. Anyway, this sauce, you can take some of this sauce out and freeze it. Put it in a plastic container, throw it in the freezer. The next time you have a plain piece of fish or grilled chicken breast, take it out, put a few tablespoons of this sauce on top of it, and voila, you have, or I should probably say presto, and presto, you have an instant meal. And it looks like you spent hours making it. and you didn't. That'll be our little secret. Anyway, simply one of my favorites. All right, that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. It means a lot to me. Really, really does. And until next time, mind yourself. Bye.